two counties from Munster participating in a minor All-Ireland final, you know, and Tipperary won that the last day by 4 points, but Cork themselves will feel they had a man sent off in the game. They were going really, really well, and Tip came back and won the match. And Cork have made a few changes from the Munster final day. They played particularly well against Galway here in the quarter-final. Their biggest challenge was probably against Dublin below and Portlaoise in the All-Ireland semi-final. And Dublin played very, very well that day. They were 8 points to 4 up, going in maybe a couple of minutes before half-time. Cork did get 2 goals to put them a couple of points up, and after that they maybe took over the game. But it was a serious, serious test, and Cork knew coming out of that one that they were going to be ready for an All-Ireland final against Tipperary.
And Cork will want atonement in this game, so there's no doubt about that. But this is a good Tipperary minor team.
Yeah, myself and Tomas looking at the Munster final, we said like these two are going to wind up in the All-Ireland final. I still fancy Tip now. They're a strong team. They're telling me they have a better team next year. But it's 3 Mahars there, very experienced. Young Cahill wing back. Now they switched Brendan Maher from centre back out to centre field, and Cockney's gone back centre back, and their full forward line is very dangerous. O'Neill, Maher and Heffernan. It's going to be a great game, but I still feel that Tip will edge it, and it's a sign like, okay, you have Limerick coming through today, but you look at the minor teams again, you have the Corks and the Tips coming again. It's nearly the whole, you know, and the Tip Kilkenny game was a great game as well, like, or the Cork Kilkenny game, so like it's going to be, you know, it's the old order coming if someone else doesn't come through.
Well, I suppose part of the old order, but you know, there's no Kilkenny in a lot of these underage finalists this year, and Dublin I mentioned Dublin a moment ago in the semi-final. They could just break up the old order.
Tip beat Kilkenny in a great game, yeah, but like you'd want them winning. You see, even going on next week, you're playing Dublin under 21. For Dublin to step forward, they want to be winning that under 21.
Yes, of course.
You know, this what you know.
Yeah, because there's no doubt, like, you know, Cork will produce. And Tip will produce a couple of these lads here.
And Kilkenny will produce.
It's part and parcel of your history, Michael. You're expected to do so. I mean, you're expected to produce teams that are under 14, under 16, minor level. And your stars of tomorrow are going to come for your minor team. And isn't everybody will make a senior rank or under 21 rank. But certainly from both teams, you'd expect in the next 2 or 3 years, 2 or 3 of these players are going to go to under 21 level and maybe to senior level straight away. And also that's why you'd be looking for your talent for the future coming from a match like today.
And of course, the Mulvihills are here. The Mulvihill or Stuart Hur of Cumberland Class Gale and Antishik Bertie Hearn and Antishik Salute. And these, of course, are special finals, one has to say, for the Mulvihill family. The hurling final and football final, as Liam is in his last year as Ort Stuart Hur. For the minor final, quick prediction, Tomas, can Cork do it?
I certainly think there's a steely resolve about them, Michael. Very disappointed after the Munster final. Certainly, last year again, I mean, they lost again here again, you know. So there is this kind of consistency within the team. They have a few guys from last year. They made a big change by bringing back Robert White. I mean, he played in last year's final. He was dropped for the last 2 matches. He comes back in a full forward. I think Cork might have the bit between their teeth and actually win this one.
Question is, Tip won the Munster final. Can they do the double over Cork?
I believe they can. They're a good team. I've seen them playing Galway down in challenge games. I fenced them all year. They're getting a bit stronger. Like, and it's going to be a fantastic game, but I still expect Tip to win by about 3 or 4 points.
Okay, a vote each here in our studio panel. All set to go for this year's All-Ireland Minor Hurling final. Time to hand to the commentary box and join Bihal O'Shea.
Guramahagat Michael, agus sin olaf chantús a chur leis gluthe minúd insa James Owen ó Loch Garman aha evail na fadóige agus Corca go dtíar díaltas a dhéanamh díaltas a agart ar dhéimú chréibh na mún agus tabradárn i dtíar give cóharach le ó chréibh iléir agus tús cur leis gluthe agus Corca go dtíar dullar in ón saí ach sáirithe an son ag Jack Hurley Callí stianta ar Jack agus tug séir gnóthaithe mar se nó tug séir gnóthaithe ag tabradárn an ceiste amrá agus an countsa Cúg féidir agus leiciad nó mar sin amach ó na gúlthaine bhfuilte an son ag Noel McGrath count fada stacha Joe na carnóige níl a bháide lanta amach ag Cillian Murphy agus Dennis O'Sullivan a dtíar ag Taracaid bhfuilte ag Dennis a raigansa a dtíar ag Corca go chuir an ónsaí an laisiad an chiad scóransa bhfuilte isteach i Joe an chúlaach taimna lábhid an lántasach Robert White an tartha takathe ar neis go bhfuil áit gnótha ar neisige ná Donna Steckensa agus ceobránach ábhidín sleáin gan éon scór fósagin sa bhluthaí ceannis. Mar sin, tucamach a bheith ann, James Logue, bhfuil an countsa, macha Joe lár na páitce, Haraka Schlitter. Hongracht an Devline, Dierige Council na Gal, Michael O'Mahony, Emihewig, Agus Seamus Hennessy, a Cork de Habradarn, Freenheim se Horn na Forde, Buintero, Agus Buintero Gadas again, Michael O'Mahony, Marsin, the Horkig, Trasna the Poitke, Nordelo, Sarah Istig, and son, they get Padraig Maher, Achan Schlitter the Dalafos, Agus Fachtig and Vadlar Poitke, Noel McGrath, Noel Machta Ruher. Bálnile éireann an ige, dyn go chúigurcha. Bhfuilte steach a láslí, agus deisige Tabradar na chiad scór a gáile bhfuil. Cá an chiad scór fachtaige Brendan Maher, Farrelle an captain na fórne. An son, Farrelle a bhí gimmert a greibh na héireann an irig. Snéan sonne an pas fachtaige Brendan Maher an slíige léir, haris a dras ná na chiad scór, mar sin. Gaunsa bhfuilte machaige Darren McCarthy. Hongracht an Devline, Tarek Eddie Ganson, Dennis O'Sullivan. Agus Cork Dierig, Dollar in Unsi, Fevru, Count Morar, the Joe the Carnoige. Nordelo, Cork Stiggetson, Agus Anna Cork, Agus Shansigan Lantasach, Robert White, Shohe Robert, the Gumpogadas, Fanna Devline, Wilte Egashud, Agus Puxair, Evegown, the Cork, Kalish Diente and son, Robert White. An adóg sétig an Maltóid, agus Focal an sa ige le Padraig Maher, Habradarn an Lán Cholaí, Far a bhí gimmert de greibh na héireann an irig, agus a bhuaig dar nó. Bhí ard chluthe canisige chomá, an aig Joe Canning ach cárta buí, nachtathe an son de Padraig Maher, anna lua fad sa chluthe, agus Foxair, Choma, Evegown, the Horkig. Agus Schnee and Fargur, Dinach and Chalaisha, Robert White, Ryan Clifford, the Hokig Council, Ryan, Woola and Clifford, Harrisha Drasnan, Kuige Fihishe, Godisa, against the Chweb Hamortus, Agus, Idolum Gamuhagainer, Achan Chalaisha Dinach, Robert White, Shahe. Robert White and son, agus Chaston Pass, took a hibuig get college to get Padraig Maher. Achan Schlitter, a law on the Poitke, agus Fachten son, get Jack Hurling. Ach, Heil to reach to get Corkig, a Derek Shelliver, Fadlar Poitke, Seamus Farrell, Machadru and Tavline, agus Edda Dollar, Michael Bowles, ach, and Schlitter, Glanta, get Tabradarn. Stach sa chúine, an sa. Sárathe istig, ige Fadlar Poitke, Dennis O'Sullivan. Fanna Tavline, Anna Hongrach fad an Tavline, ach fachte an son ige Robert White, bhfuilte ige siú trasna na Poitke, agus a dierig I raibh siú Ryan Clifford a Cork, ach ní sé frisht. Cornish agus an Reiche leisistach, Ruharo Ryan Clifford, Anna Yeshige, Mac leisistach, Corcamáin Corfe, agus é sin dianta go gló to Michael Bowles, Anna Hanson's an hole of Ike, Harris at Rasna on Michael Mahoney. Michael Mahoney, well, we Deshige, hole a hook chef winter. Deshinsa Ristigan, Yishkit and Corcamáin and son, attack the Gowded. And son, Michael Bowles and Pascady, Michael O'Mahony, agus Anna Yeshige Michael, a chafuinte tócahige, agus Corkig Currachin Keen, Marsin, Áfuintige Corkig, Count of Oinige, Tabradarn, Gadin, the Velagan Bart, Gerrit Trasna, Patrick Maher, agus Alwyn Carney, Patrick Maher Ovaga, Patrick Galistach, Van der Tavline, Anna Yeshige Patrick, Mielavoide, Anna Haval, Yentishtek, and son, agus a mehe, Boliager. Darren McCarthy, Anna Ruharo, Patrick Maher, Acha, Bishe, Machtish, Shane, Machtish, Stach, Patrick Maher, Machtish, Agus, Bertno Tour team play, Agus, Mehe, Boliager, Mehemu, Agus Pocomacha Vegown, Lochorping. Insana, Ruhistach, Ord Yesher Fadige, Acha, Nima Shilter Beater. What the Macri Lord the Portka, Seamus Farrell, the Horkig, what to go to the Michael O'Mahony for Shepito, Kenu, Vaishek Canale, Joey, Michael O'Mahony, Walkwinter as a Kale and son, and 3 count the Horkig. Then sonne, pass fachte again, Michael Bowles, goody Michael O'Mahony, Agus Harrisha Drasnaun. Marsin, James Logue, from the council of Wallamach, the Habradarn. Macha Joe Lord na Poitke Tarakedi Chris O'Donovan Acha mehe harnash agus Trasna na Poitke Gedi Lorcan McLaughlin mehe buig Acha tactic Schnell Lorcan Wiltige Lorcan agus Idiadig Robert White a gaim shoe ach Patrick Maher on Sunday mehe Ishtach agus Anagish and Saga Patrick Gould oh me hale Patrick Gould agus Shohe Tachtamach James Lowe Loyach Hobrat Arden and Baltason agus Shohe Michael O'Mahony Michael agus Lagier Evna Live Clay Marshin Deschele and Sahagan Irach Patrick Gould de Machtestach agus Edadal of James Lowe achan Schnitter Kenny Hige Wiltemach Tapik agus Hobrat Arden a dollar in on sea agus Chance and Sahaka Lared in a Hatslot Kieran Larrigan Wiltige Kieran a Stacha Joan Hulach Time the live edition Emihimu Mashin Oik down the Mihimu Shach Nomati Gwille Emmeremihe See Puinte Le Puinte Gudisa agus Darren McCarthy van de Council Wollemach wordt Lief Roe Macha Joe Lord na Poitke agus Shahoon Seamus Hennessy agus Kieran Larrigan Kieran Ishtachat so le Joe Patrick Maher Drofas Sarhege Killian Murphy agus Poolbode Darren McCarthy Taraka de Ganson Anna Hoongruchten de Evline Rutrasna Dennis O'Sullivan Machtige Dennis ach Sarhe and son Gadas against John Coughlin Cork na Michael Bowles Tachta Cowdy agus Cork in a reached Wilted Trasna the Poitke Deshinsa Iga Corkig Dollar in on sea agus Shohe Ryan Clifford Ryan Anach Reindach na Colleen all in a will Ryan Clifford agus an Tarnacown an Tarna Puinte Iga Ryan Choma agus Húge fi hishacht má Shagadisa sa chréf chomórtas Sinean sanna Ryan Clifford agus sin Colleen Allen Eligir acha an Vartientige Mach gedi Lord na Poitke Mehe Sheeran sa gedi Varlord Poitke Brendan Maher Shohe Patrick Maher Chancega Patrick Machlish acha Kalish Diente Iga Patrick agus Puxair amacha vegaun de Chorkbing Darren McCarthy a Hogwege Council Schnensone Machlish Istach agus an come on an son Mrua agus Darren McCarthy chun a Council a Wollemach Sheblian a Diag a Darren Shinelle Wiltigadi Lord na Poitke Lorcan McLaughlin Sinead Lorcan Machlish a Goni Count more hard and cool boy de Tachta Machatson James Lowe James Wiltige Anna Tevline ach Fachtige Dennis O'Sullivan Emihibwig Noel McGrath Shohe Noel Wiltige Noel Rutrasna Patrick Maher agus Alwyn Carney Mach Harisha Tevline agus Puxlassa Evegaun an sa de Hobrat Arden Marshin Seamus Hennessy Hogan the puck on the Sarah She Hokigan puck Tevline on Baltasa Twinte Avoin Shinabulaim Shehe Iget Hobrat Arden Gudisa Wilter Stach Gudin Gulboide Darren McCarthy on pass o Darren Gudi Connor Hurley ach an Counson Mihimu agus Deshinsa agus Seamus Hennessy Stacha Joan Chowl agus Seamus agus Tevna Live Clay mi Abrach Seamus Hennessy an Baltason Seamus Hennessy agus Crea Wille Eren onnedigige Imedin Cheshud Choma Shincher Lenach Lob Wiltigadi Lord na Poitke Cork Cousins agus Hobrat Arden Erik Shellib a Wintoiv ach Fachta Harnashige Dennis O'Sullivan Teledoid Kuntai Isha Choma Ehene agus Chris O'Donovan Chancensa ige Ryan Clifford count Clote Elle ige Ryan Clifford count Anach Loter Fad Einshehe ige Ryan Chief Winter Fad Einshehe a count o Ilí bhí géire agus iad dianta go cumasach aige. An captain agus gwartú amo Noel McGrath an fadlar páidce Noel McGrath Hobradáren amo a lár na páidce agus cór seacharid Noel Masha an fadlar páidce sé gimmert na lechúil chomá bhí sé na lechúil an ládernach agus a lár páidce agus Declan Ryan éidir blíine snéan sanna agus búntach an tamánaí Declan na gradam fad bhuitige agus Tammy Dunna cáúla sé a blíine chomá leis na ránóirí Tammy an cóteálaí ach Pocamach a bheith ann an sa James Logue ceann mór fada Harris lár na páidce agus fachta go deasa Ciarán Laragan trasna an sa Noel McGrath sné Noel i lethe chúil go dtí Michael Cahill Patrick Maher Jessica Patrick an bhaid sé cóla báiltasa Patrick ís bhfuil Harris an trasna an thug sé faointe Patrick Maher an son an lántasach agus bhfuil snéan sanna an bhartíontaigid Alwyn Carney an báiltasan an chiad faointe ag Patrick mar sin cúcín le áithán an bhar na líad a hitne sig go dtí cóla bháin ceann mór fada Harris lár na páidce dhváil san éir ag Noel McGrath Noel McGrath isteach an son nach Conor Hurley na chorcaig Conor a cosint agus Derek Tachta Gowder, Jack Herlihy Mithe Olá na Bertacha an son go dtí Sean Carey Hasó Sean Carey agus seohé Patrick Maher ach lagaíireacht sáirithe go Darren McCarthy Darren amach a Joe lár na páidce fachta go deasú galís an son ar James Barry imid goma agus bin gháilúntach san éir ag Noel McGrath agus Seamus Hennessy a thócaigh an ceansa go Hobradáren. Be sé dírig an bhar na léadú go dtí ráfaointe trínaim se thuair na fórne Croma síos bhuiilteige íseal sáirithe an máidúir Darren McCarthy Darren amach leis agus é i dírig Seamus Farrell a raimsú ach an bhartíonta bhuiilte Steach lá slí agus seohé Brendan Maher isteach a Joan Choul anna faointe ag Brendan Maher an chiad scór ag Brendan captain na fórne an son agus an ceansan bhuilte nótáilteige Harris a drasnáin snéan sanna ile anna gír ag gimmert a lár na páidce chimirín sé siúd na cosantóidí agus na tusaithe chomá Farrell dánach bhí sé sa lína lechúil báiltabháin im léanacha agus an ceansan bhuilte raig a dírig cosint an son de Hobradáren John Coughlin bhuilte amach ag John dá a lethe chúil Jack Herlihy Paracad Ganson Conor Hurley Shanson sag Dennis O'Sullivan íireacht sáirithe áfach agus fachta go deasa go Seamus Hennessy Hobradáren a dírig dul an únsaí báiltabháin eile súil an tau cinnithe an sonnaige Alwyn Carney ag gansan nach se chalíistíanta sáitis a dráman san Patrick Maher chalíistíanta siúd agus puc séir gnóthaige de Hobradáren néan san Patrick Maher agus sáitis a drám mar sin puc séir a bheith gann de Hobradáren agus deise an bhar na léadú go dtí éon faointe a bháin agus Seamus Hennessy a thócaigh an ceansa faointe bháin má dhearín leis an ceansa a chur Harris a drasnáin an slú an son agus brenaíoch a beag a báistí ceomhrán na tiitimata a báid go chrócaigh seacht gréibhdíag ile éireann ag Hobradáren 8 díag ag Corcaigh mar a háige cílchainnig an éróig le Seamus Hennessy ceansa chur Harris a drasnáin a bhar na líadú dtí pointe bháin bhuilte go Seamus bhuilte go maithe go Seamus Harris a drasnáin agus mar sin ní leatra ach éon faointe a bháin Darren McCarthy Hwtra hyd yn o'r li yr irde. Wylte gyda lor na poetke. Agus Sinead Dennis O'Sullivan. Fanna teflin ach amach haris y teflin. Pog slasa dy Hobra Darden. Kevin O'Gorman. Agus Unson. Donald Cronin. Ach, an pog slasa. Wylte gus amachatson gyda Noel. Gyda Brendan Maher. Brendan Maher, glóte rai gyda John O'Neill. Siahe John, ha sianna hapig. Noch che chummas, nai cil chynig, ach eirach Sarah Hinson, Sarah Hegama. Agus fachta yn sonnige Cillian Murphy. Cillian na diarig Cork gychwyr yn onsi. Wylte gyda sy stach sa chwyn yn sonnige. Gyda Ryan Clifford, ach bwyntago yn sonnige Brendan Maher. Brendan Maher tras na gyda Noel McGrath. Noel McGrath ymachlish. Noel ymachfos. Stach al Ashley. Bwyntago sonnige Jack Hurling. Jack atacht amach de Chorcaig. Anna Yazar Faddi, Ryan Clifford, ach ar eist tan, cael eist dianta Ryan Clifford, Foxeir a fegawn de Chorcaig. Ryan Clifford, captain y ffwrne, ond pas fachta yn son ag Ryan, slawn na hych yn taloned, ach cael eist dianta yn son ag Kevin O'Gorman, agus Foxeir a fegawn de Chorcaig. Ryan Clifford a hwcaig y cancer. Ond Harris Moog wil scoren na eindje higge, a greef men oor na heden, Gudisa en Bliana, niet allemaal gelijk een, Harris je maken is. Shachoene, Gerik Puintele, Gorr Klares Goeid, Bultige, ach, Kansa Bultet, Herne Lave Klee, Rodasana Besoontig, Marcin, Henig, a Hjundientige, Gudisa, de Gorke genoeg, Zie Puinte, Agus, en Kansen, Bulte Machige, James Loog, Die Lord na Poitke, Chansige Michael O'Mahony, Fanna Talloon, Kevin O'Gorman, de Hobra Darden, Edadalov, agus Shahe, Michael Bowles, Wintera Afachanson, Gudas, again, John Coughlin, Wiltestach, agus Chansige Patrick Maher, Wiltige Patrick Maher, ach, Tef na live edition. Marcin, ni Mona Soste, Eveshe, Leshe Gansen, en Fweinte Vain ha atra a láthar na huide. Agus Victor Dassenson, den O'Gonach, Darren McCarthy. Peladóid choma. Wilte go dí láthar na páidce, fachta go glóte go Seamus Hennessy. Trasna na páidce, Michael O'Michael Heffernan. Fachta go desaige Conor Hurley. Conor inis amach leis, Fanna Tevlini. Cael mór bwiltige. Agus me hemach haris y defline pog slasa y fegawn de Hobra Darden. Sean O'Brien y dirn a hocaig yn cawnsa. No be, no Michael Cahill veder. Michael Cahill. Fanna tefline. Fachtig Jack Hurley. Mach gyda Lorna na Poitke. Agus Shahe Noel McGrath. Noel is tegen John Goel. Wilte go hard, agus wilte go cream. Pointed ass again, Noel McGrath. On Geert scored again, Van Lord Poitkin. Noel McGrath. Agus luchtakke jichte saus de leis in. On pas vachte on Sunnige. Brendan Maher, goedie. Noel McGrath. Noel McGrath, harische drasnal. Pok slasse, eveget zo, de Chorcaig. Karamach, ege Noel McGrath. Agus Chris O'Donovan, van de Kamsa Hogant. Na fórne co-score, a láthar na huide. An mágáine atra, Wiltestach, Joe an chuine, mar Ryan Clifford. A machat sugadi Robert White, Robert a gáilistach, Joe Robert, Anna Geshiga Robert, Nachlesh Gafol, Anna Chatipul in Ishid, Agus, ni hechaud an rohar in Eden Boy. Gan einige de bar a chud séhir. Ryan Clifford beidir a heidige de Gelson ach Robert White a macht leis isteach agus bwlte isteach I dro an chuine ach Shahid Stanton tlug a John O'Neill John a macht leis bwlte go John bwlte go maithige agus dun giadúir sa chluthe a Pobradorn chin cín an chiad scór ag John O'Neill. Eide hen áde go Dassenson Umpathe timppel, macht leis, Anna Lewis, Anna Chrunis. Mar sin, sé faointe, le cúig faointe. An atara ach an bhearna is ló, Hen fragar evege Cork shot. Halais dienta an son again Gorquich. The Robert White vial. Agus Foxayed on Multoid. Agus a Lorogotlite. Ni ha Halais dienta Robert White. Bishe so me Carter douche get James Owen. Loch Garman. Ach Ryan Clifford de Hokige Cants agus Jessica Ryan on score a Chohramu the Horpig. On Vaishe on Sheu Count Wiltiga Ryan agus Farashu na din an Daru Ryan Clifford agus Shedikin the Pointy Harish Drasnan in Normandy gon score der na Faba ach Hashet is co-score Shea Pointe on there Wiltigama Wilta Harris Lord the Poitke agus Fachtige Michael Heffernan Wilta Trasna Stacha Joe Tevna Lovic Clay agus an Counson Kuramu Masin Tokamacha Vegan An Gorkoich Hulna Kanalach a Hossan to get Corkigita Sikiedla Yet Gobber Hob then the Gaelic Cork Tobra Darden Anna Waller Fatson Irons and a Reach to get Noel McGrath agus Poxayer College Denter Noel Masin Deshansa agus Sheamus Hennessy Marvin Che Fada Rohin agus Marvin Che Crean Rohin Masin Shachuin Sheamus Hennessy Wiltiga Sheamus Stacha Joan Huil Wiltiga Sheamus agus Wiltiga Ma Pointe Ma Elle score Ma Elle an Carna Pointe agus Sheamus Hennessy Masin Hobradorn agus a gawn Chankina cut Shach Pointe the Shea Pointe the Machgadi Lord the Poitke reached agus Noel McGrath Wilta Stacha a Paraka de Gamson John O'Neill with Glote and Suggery Michael Heffernan Shansiga Michael Igualista on pass and Suggery Sean Carey and the hole against Hobradorn Sean Carey and son agus Bishe and the Hostelishin on Luishach the Talta Godas against Hobradorn agus on Paskura Evaras Godas and son Goody Sean Carey Bachta and son against Sean agus Bultestach agus an Vartiantige a goal body Corkinunach san immert Masin agus Chancellor and so again Michael Heffernan Wiltige Michael agus Wiltige Mahige Harish Drasnan an Varna Mida again Fiat School again Michael Heffernan ach Biachashin Marklech Lloyd in immert Michael Heffernan and son Bachtige Dasige Ganani team played Harish Drasnan Wiltige Mahgadi Dennis O'Sullivan Shachun Dennis and the Horpig Drasna the Poitke ach the Khoshevaras Accountant agus Deshele again Tobradorn Michael Heffernan Sarah again Chris O'Donovan Edadalov Bachta again Kieran Lorrigan Kieran the Derek Schliegen of the Hain Kieran the Stachat Joan Hul Tavna the Law Vidishe again Kieran agus a move Edigan in the Ansa Tachan Poitke in the Sheamus Farrell a Fogan the Poitke again Corkig agus Stephen McDonnell a Tachan Poitke in the Art agus Sheamus Farrell Emehe Masin on Hiad Aharu Godisa agus Deshanishige Darren McCarthy and Council of Walla Amach Darren McCarthy Amach Gadi Lorna Poitke Bachta Amohansanige Brendan Maher Wiltige Brendan Maher Stacha Joe on Huine agus Chancellor and so again Tobradorn score Elegol Lach Wilte Joe Tevna Lavic Clay and Bautasaniga John O'Neill Masin Shachgin the Yeshana Kuramu Godisa again Tobradorn agus Darren McCarthy Council Wiltamachige Goody Lord the Park score a Tasdal in Ish or Horkig on Vaishade Count Morard Stacha Joe the Carnoige Nordelo Chance Míle bháide, bháilisteach ar séitfar, bhuiiltegus cóla san aga Robert White. Robert White san a tarachad I gansan, fanna talón, agus big Cork anna hásta lei sin, anna ragara I chól Hobradán. An Schlitter an son, agus a raibh Calais dianta ige Padraig Maher, nún a raibh, ach le chuma ciucha, bhuilte isteach ige Robert White, agus big Cork anna hásta lei sin. Jack Hurling a cousin de Cork, Shohei Jack, I teachtamach, Lynn of Rowie. A bóla stachan son gydí Michael Bow, gydí Robert White, ach sárathe ige James Barry. James Barry, gydí ddefyl an báid. Sean Carey Cork, Patrick Maher, chance ige Patrick a bóla stach, Calais, diantar Patrick Maher, ha, an líne, fyheméad ar a dian díadach lasmod an garnoig, Foxeir I bheith gael de Hobradán. Snéad sanna, Patrick Maher, a ruhisteach, a luas lasarach, a mechtlis, agus Snéad sanna, Calais diantaid, agus Corlais, a vertica, séisi méitsin, háfainte as garún to chéile, agus Keintsevan son an Taharú again Cork Stephen McDonnell and out Seamus Farrell an Farlár Páirce mar sin háfainte as garún teachas dóilm go méid níos a bhó nuair a bheith go poxéir sa tócathe. Seamus Hennessy, a hócaigh an counter. Agus dóilm go tóca sé faointe. Seachúine. Snéansanna agus bhuilte an sanna go Seamus Hennessy an tríú pointe ige siúd agus tícín atara chuma agus a cárta buí go Alwyn Carney mar geall an Galatian. Mar sin, Darren McCarthy, macha Jo Lord na Páirce agus seo Seamus Hennessy ríist, Bertípal Seamus, bhuilte trasna na Páirce agus Sára Hinson ige Lorcán McLaughlin, Iarach Súd Sára agus seo Michael Heffernan. Michael Heffernan, Cawn mór ard, Joig Darren McCarthy se go neafisiach. Amach leis gydí Stephen McDonnell an tunad í hánig chan Páirce de Cork. Stephen McDonnell, manish. Snéan cárta buín sannaga, ach an íochar sin cawn san na varas. Agus desin isige, Hobradán dul an unsaí, Brendan Maher. Brendan Maher, cawn mór ard. Dacha Drew an chuine. Agus desinsa ige Sean Carey. Sean ar a dalmh, Sean Míobrach, Michael Heffernan. Chance ige Michael. Trasna na Páirce, Lagaí aracht. Sárathe ansa ige Darren McCarthy. Ach gydí Lord na Páirce agus seachún Michael O'Mahony, Matt leis a ruachar. An bhaise scór de Cork. Jogan Badiúid a counsa, James Lowe. James a teachtamach. Ansa gydí John Coughlin. John Coughlin, mach gydí Lord na Páirce. Fachta ymwchig Dennis O'Sullivan. Ystachat so gydí Robert White. Robert White am achtarstach. An a ruachar ige Robert, bhuilte ige Robert. Dón mi ábarach an pulla bhuilte ige Robert. Sean O'Brien. Ansa Sean O'Brien a Joe an taobhlíne. Imi himach. Ach an Corcaí cho chudimachaí agus le Hobradán an counsa. Agus is cosúil go méid Glenn O'Connor I tachan Páirce de Cork agus beidir Alwyn Carney. Beidir se Alwyn Carney I fágan na Páirce. Cárta buí ige Alwyn. Agus Glenn O'Connor tacathe an Páirce in áit. Agus sé Jack Hurling in isise hamithe mar lán cholaí. agus Glenn imithe isteach sa chuine. Mar sin a cosintid sa Cillian Murphy. Cillian Murphy isteach a láslí. Cork go dtí ag scóra le gáil ribh le haum. Glenn O'Connor mach go dtí lár na páitce. Bheachtaíonta ar 2 km mehanní an sonnaige James Barry ach seohí Dennis O'Sullivan. Fachtan isise go James Coughlin. James amach na rúthar do Habradán. James leis go dtí lár na páitce. An na rúthar ag James amachanta go dtí Patrick Maher. Patrick in isise dtí ag garaisteach. An na rúthar dianta go Patrick. Seohí Patrick amach leis ar lína fihiméidir. Buinte go go cumas a chápach agus Jack Hurling an na hásta leis a Gownston. Bhfuilte go Jack cógrachtan de bhlíine. Fachta go Noel McGrath. Steach a láslí. Patrick Maher. Jack Hurling. Bhfuilte I drú an puck cúgvéidir agus tífahid I bheith gawn do Habradán. Mar sin sí cín atara agus B'né amach na Stechanson, Patrick Maher ach an slútar buinte rá go Dassenson agus fachta go Jack Hurling ach puck cúgvéidir agus tífahid Seamus Hennessy a hócuig an Council. Nes an a chóngurach ag fad don de bhlíine. Trig nó gól leistig beidir. Seamus Hennessy ille anna gír bhfuilte go Seamus ach tréib na láda clé an Council churamú ige Seamus. Sin an nám breise an sa. Sí cín de faointí as garúnt agus an adó séite goil lehaum an sa ag an moltóid agus an chúlamháin is garún na bhórne ó chéile ige lehaum agus seo chuibn scór héana ag a Habradán héana sé ige Corcaigh. Agus leis sin tócamíd Suspir.
And to look at the stats from that first half of the game. First, let's confirm the score for you at half-time. It's Tipperary leading Cork by 1-9 to 1-6. 8 wides for Tipperary, 4 wides for Corks, 5 frees conceded by Cork and just 4 frees conceded by Tipperary. Here with me in studio, Cyril Farrell and Tomás McKay. Tomás, your lads are behind 3 points. How are they going, do you think?
Started the match really well. I think Ryan Clifford there in the left corner looked very promising. Got 2 great points from play, but the big difference is there. They had 3 goal scoring opportunities in the first half, and Michael Manny elected to go for a point when a goal was there for the taking. But I suppose the story of the first half is we've dominated the first 15 minutes, but Tipperary slowly but surely got themselves back into the game and got some great scores. Dominated around the middle of the field, you know, and Cork had to make a substitution there, bring on Steve McDonald, and number 3 certainly was in trouble big time. Alvin Caronan has had a bad first half, and they've made the switch just before half time, but a lot of damage has been done in that first half period by that Tipperary full forward line.
Yeah, Tip also got a little purple patch there, as Tomás said. Good start for Cork, nice purple, got a couple of good scores and got the goal in it.
Yeah, they needed that purple patch, Michael, because they're out hurled like 4-1 after a while. Young Clifford is going to the right side of the defence of Tip is under pressure, but after a while they started getting on top, especially around midfield. This young O'Neill corner forward is a handful, and now the ground is very slippy. It's bobbing around, like this ball comes in high here, gets this ball, now the cornerback goes in him here and just he slips here, caught, but look what he does, carries it forward, lovely little flick across here to Sean Kieran. He won't miss them like that. Now that put Tip in the driver's seat. They're threatening this, but that's going to happen today. They're like, no matter what calls they've been, it's very slippy out there. Lovely hand pass, and Kieran doesn't miss these. Like the Cork goalie, you know, wouldn't have any chance of that. Like it put Tip in the driving seat. Cork have come back in, got their goal as well. Still only 3 points in it, but for a final that I thought would be a classic, it's getting very hard to lift. Maybe they're kind of nervous, and it is very slippy, but I'd expect a much better second half.
Yeah, there is a little bit of rain out there that I'm sure is a little factor in it. Cork did get the goal back. They needed this because they're beginning to drift away out of the game.
No
Have a look at this. Well, the goal was taken well. Question of steps, Tomás, maybe, but corner forward. Yeah,
it's finished to the net by Robert White, but we'll have a look at it here again and see it's a high ball. I mean, it's kind of a 50-50 ball that's breaking the side. Up he goes. maybe a little bit of pick off the ground. Certainly you can look at the step side of it, certainly, but I mean the Tipperary defender will be disappointed as well. I mean, he tried to pick the ball there when it was easier maybe to knock it out to the wing and clear his lines, but when it falls, Young O'Brien, you know, so see the first touch listen down and it falls to Robert White, and it's just an easy stroke pulling the ground. But certainly that was a lifeline for Cork, got him back into the game, and only 3 points down, as Sarah said. We expected it probably a bit better in the first half period. Bigger crowd in now, I mean, will lift the atmosphere as well, and it should open up and give us a better second half.
Okay, well, while we're enjoying this All-Ireland minor final, we're also looking forward to the on an occasion like this. However, as Marty Morrissey would explain, today is a little bit different.
Well, we're here underneath the Cusack stand. It's a very important occasion here. The referee is refereeing his very first All-Ireland final, Diarmuid Kerwin from the Road Club in Ovens. And his dad, Jerry Kerwin, refereed the 1988 final. In here, hi lads, best of luck today. Diarmuid Kerwin, this is a very nervous time, I know, for you, about an hour or so before the game. Are you looking forward to your first All-Ireland?
Absolutely, Marty. It's a dream come true. It's what all the work is all about. So to be here 19 years after my father, and you know, it's a great family occasion for my family in Ovens, and all my umpires and my family in Ballyskinnock and Offaly. So really looking forward to it.
Well, your dad, Jerry Kerwin, who refereed that 88 All-Ireland, is here beside you. Are you nervous?
I am very nervous, Marty. I'm more nervous, I think, than I was in '88 myself, because it's a very special occasion for our family today, and very special for Diarmuid here. And I knew from the first time I saw him refereeing a Cork minor final that he would make it to the top, because he had the common sense and the courage which it takes to make a good referee.
Well, we look forward to your first All-Ireland. Jerry, Diarmuid, thank you very much for joining us. From the referee's room here underneath the Cusack stand, it's back to you, Michael.
And we say the very best of luck, of course, to the Kerwin family this afternoon. Of course, Cyril, you remember the dad refereeing the 88 final, of course, the goal we won against Tip.
It's so long that I remember that. Yeah, we were lucky. You know, when you win as a referee, you count them lucky, and if you lose, you're looking for every kind of an excuse. You blame the referee. But like the point is, Michael, no matter who referees it, it's a hard thing to do. He hasn't the kind of he hasn't all the replays that we have. It's a thankless job, and like you can go blame him afterwards, but by and large, like 99.9% of the time, the players have to win it. They might make a master stroke by making a move that might work or may not work, but other than that, the 15 guys inside the white line, they have to win it. But we have great memories of you know, I hope it was well for his son as it did for him, you know, and you know, maybe it could be a draw today, you know, the J need this money, you know.
They need the money. Stop. I don't think it will be a draw, certainly, sir, but I mean, it is a big occasion, well, there's no doubt about that.
Tom, these are lads that certainly are hoping it's not going to be a draw anyway. This is the Kilkenny. Eddie Brennan, of course, we were talking a little bit earlier on here on the programme. They are arriving into their dressing room here at Croke Park, and looking forward, obviously, to the big game.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, I suppose they have the advantage, maybe tense looking, maybe sleeping in their own beds the night before as well, you know, and kind of making the journey up this morning. That's the normal practice with Kilkenny. But I mean, I'm sure Brian Cody won't allow complacency set in there. I mean, they look to be very focused, look to be a bit of tense. But that's part and parcel of All-Ireland final day. You get up in the morning, you're tense the whole way through.
Quick word, Cyril. Read the minor match, second half, 3-point lead for Tip. Both teams back out in the field. Tip to hold on, do you think?
Yeah, they'll be a bit disappointed at half-time too, because they're well on top for the last 15 minutes of that game and they're only 3 up. Like, I still think they're good enough to win it, but like Cork or James from the attack. As a matter of fact, both sets of forwards kind of are on top, but like it's not a defender's day really, because they're slipping and sliding around the place. I still expect Tip to get through.
Tomas, hoping for a turnaround?
I'd hope for a turnaround, Michael, but we're certainly up against it now. You'd expect a bit more return from the inside forward line. Certainly maybe the Luke Farrells and the Padraig Goulds at this stage get more ball across to that side. It has all happened, as Sir said, down the left-hand side. Michael O'Mahony getting 2 points. Ryan Clifford needs a bit more from the contributions, and certainly they need to be tightened up in their back line there, because that Tipperary forward line look very threatening.
Okay, let's see how it all pans out. Time to hand back to the commentary box and rejoin Micheál O'Shea.
Goramahagat Michael, agus is gar good for twos and so, lesson Tarnala. Multoid Mohikintu, go will Mahini and Old agus an agar, agus Vaintinish to get a boy, gets a house, twos current, lesson emerting, Multoid, Tarnalatos the Haggis, Corkagiric, Dollar in on say, a number Kush game and son Gana in hours to get Stephen McDonald, agus Puxair took a hip wig again, agus Ablaw Potke, Hobra Darden, Noel McGrath, a Hawking and Council. Michael Bowles, Emihe O'Chorkig, agus Donna Stack, Stig in a out. Mashin and Council, Wiltestach, Lashley, Sarah Stig and so again, Loshgal McLaughlin. Pachta get James Coughlin, John Coughlin, Cal Moore Fada. Good evening, there will a chance to take Michael Heffernan. Michael O'Gallistach and Vaisha Cole again Michael Heffernan. Well, an hús leis a tarnala an sa agad Obradorn. Clar, óg éana choróin agus bhíchar sin ráchúil bhlána atra inis. An slittar fachtan san ag Michael Hepburn an éana hapig ar fad bert na geaganíir cos an áde stechan líontán. Mar sin be seanna geacar ar chorcaig inis teachtar náis. Mecht leis ar rúthar an san Pádraig Gould. Stech go dtíon ina daí Glenn O'Connor. Glenn na Cork, hongracht an Dave Líne. Agus meheamach haris a Dave Líne. Mar sin Snéan taharú a gin Corcaig. Agus snéan scór. Sécín de faointí as garún to chéile. Agus Patrick Maher I mithe do Obradorn agus Paddy Murphy takathe edabáid ina áit. Achrathe aníanamh vi gan dáhéamh inis. Tug slasa ansa do Obradorn Stachalá Sean Carey mithe bhuig buinte gothe go Lorcáin McLaughlin. Lorcáin titahid a dalamh. Iirecht sáirithe an san ag Sean Carey. Bhfuilteteach go dtí Michael Hepburn a fearfaide cúil. Trasna na páidce ach léite go deas a stig sa chúnig Cillian Murphy. Stecha dro bhéal a bháide. Bháidúid a teach amach chana bháile san ag James Lowe. Súla teach cid ag ansan Sean Carey. Seo Sean Carey. Congracht an Dave Líne. Bhfuilteteach sa dtí Michael Hepburn. Michael Hepburn. Trasna na páidce go dtí John O'Neill. Agus seansan sa go Seamus Hennessy. Seamus a gháil isteach bhfuilte go maith agus Seamus pointe eile de Obradorn. Gwael y siolting carw pwynt yn syn ag Seamus Hennessy. Ond slittar fachtige yn syn pas y faras gyda Seamus Hennessy agos Seamus gan ein darw. Obradorn edaws lahar na hwydi Seamus Hennessy rysht. Stechan syn gyda yn lína lánta sach. Y rydras na da chorcaig Jack Hurling. Me hwyg. Michael Hepburn yn y Cork. Agus Derek Tachta Gauder, Jack Hurling, ach Rimish amach, agus Ongracht an Dave Líne, fachta an sa ige Brendan Maher. Brendan Maher is Stachalá gyda Kieran Larrigan nach Clem na Live Clay an Council Curamú ige Far Obradorn. Agus fiachar sin de haváil an san ige James Lowe, fachta go glótar fat san air. Mach leis slittar go dtí Lord na páidce, Dennis O'Sullivan a Taracaid, ach sáirithe John Coughlin, Fanna Dave Líne, meheamach, agus pug slasa I bheith ann de chorcaig. Jack Hurling, a hócaig I cansa. Agus athrathe a bhfuil nó caiintearsúil an sanna go Donald Cronin, agus a chud inadithe. Thad Lord Páidce an sa Noel McGrath. Iirecht blocáltha. Meheamach haris a Dave Líne agus le Corcaig an Council. Dennis O'Sullivan. Cad é mar rí chuideach cúil eile de Corcaig. Chuideach sé anam sa chluthe ach céigeúig. Bhaid siad Obradorn a gimmert níos fearr na iad láthar na huide Brendan Maher. Michael Hepburn, Sinead Michael, Harafwyd y cwl. Clech lo chor yn immert. Wylte stach sa chwynige. Agus Cousin Tutson fi Conor Hurley. Agus Shohet Chris O'Donovan. Mach gyda Dennis O'Sullivan. Dennis am achleis yn ish. Cadagianag Dennis. Rúhar o Dennis. Siansiga Dennis. Ach bwylte dro. Tair na lafi dishe. Gymi ofarach. Agus sin Cúcín, mú an sanara ar na Corcaí agus fiachar I meárna a há idir na fórne. Tócamach a bheith sa de James Lowe. Mach go dtí Lord na Páidce. Seo Noel McGrath. Nóla gara leis isteach, chúg féidir agus dahad, nacht leis go fóil. Lagíireacht, sárathaige Darren McCarthy. Darren McCarthy, mach go dtí Lord na Páidce, Dennis O'Sullivan. Dennis go dtí Robert White, seansa go Robert inis, bhfuilte isteach go tappaige. Byddi siad yn cawnsa y faras. Bwylta isteach y John Chwlig a Ryan Clifford agus pwynta dasig a Ryan Clifford captain y ffôn. Ond cwyo cawn ag a Ryan Clifford. Hen y siach le dwyd e, sne'n syna, gara leis isteach agus bwylta go dasig a haris y dras nawn. Marsin, James Logue. Schlitter titihich yn talwn. Fachtan sygyn in y ddi, dan y stec. Ach Sara hig yn apysych. Larigan, gairi yn orde, mihywig. Wylt ystach a John Chwyn agos anagish yn sy, ag Luke O'Farrell, Luke O'Farrell ystach, ond fai siad col yn ish. Wylt ystach agos, poc cwgedd agos chief i hyn. Mi afarach, cosyn dianta yn syn, ag cosyn toedi, hobr o dorn, agus anagish yn pas trasna o Luke Farrell yn syn di Michael O'Mahony agus eirach tsúd blocálta. Snean syn yn pas fachta ag Michael agus Bertno Tjúr yn synnyd chynef locail. Agus pog cwgedd agus chief i hyd, mar sin, dys na corcaí. An vaisiad pwynte, an vaisiad sgôr. Cillian Murphy, bwylta ag Cillian, ac bwylta Joe, tre'n o laif i clé. I mwna sásta y fysiad le sin. Mach siar ystach sa chwne yn syn yn Bawdysyn, Michael Cahill y mi ystach sa un lôn chwyl yn ish. Kerry Cork, ach yn ddatiantyd ag ysio he Padraig Gould. Padraig Gould, ystach. Padraig Ele, Padraig Mahar y mi hywig. Slitter yr ydalaf. Cobrwydwch y tacht ymach lehech. Cael o histiantyd yn Counson, ffachtig y James Owens. Marsin. Hashen Counson agus Puxir Evegaun de Chorpig. Ryan Clifford. Snean son agus. Counson fachtas y cosa ag James Owens. Ryan Clifford marsin yn dŵr y chef e chwl. Bedd am naid ianach. Ni gienig. Wiltige. Haris y dras na on. Yn ddarn y lydd y hige. Hwcyn dy ffwynti atra yn ish. Agus Pocomach Evegaun de Hobra Darn. Mas agus na Corcaig sin go bhfuil siad chundédig. James Logue. Nach bháil ar fad san air an Bawdysyn. Seo Chris O'Donovan na Corcaig. Bwyltige ach fachta go das ag James Barry. Ceann mór fada ag James. Darren McCarthy. Dyn nhw gofert o liaf rŵa, ac yn pas yn cyrmwg ag y sians yn chwlyd sa. Wyltysdach o'ch siamas hynny sy'n ag ysmych hwyd Kerry ag ysyn hafael. Stig ag Darren McCarthy o'r hafael ag Darren. Car liaf rŵa, e hen ag ys Michael O'Mahony. Ond liaf rŵa yn vertig ag ys dymyd a hyn clína Darren McCarthy wyg sé cref ile eirin idir feanach le Corcaig yn eidir cwg y cwg ag ys tas yn gwyl moharach y clína Michael O'Mahony. Fe fiachant yr un choma, Julie Horgan o Chiel de Martre, yn gweltach Corcaig, ys Bernie O'Mahony, o Charag y Chaltig, a gwntach Lloyd, gweltach tro choma. Ach anna hafael y Bawdysyn ag Darren McCarthy, ni rhaid yn chwld yma hysdachyd, gydyn ywf, ach ta'n ywf, ta oech iawn, sgwyd ysdach yn ywf ige, ach niet fa yn lochtach ydyd, dweich iawn ac dywyd e, hyn hocht, dwyltig ydi Lord na Páidce, agus Noel McGrath. Trasna na Páidce. Seo Sean Carey. Trúr timplid an bhartianta gara cinni hanad ige. Bwynta go an son ige Lorcan McLaughlin. Ach fachta harnas an son ige Seamus Hennessy. Nadog sétig an moltóid. Wel mwyn gwach sy'n cawn sy'n stach atra. Cúcín de faointí á manna cinúnach á manna háchtach at fad de chorcaí. Chun scór a gáil, agus án táchtach de Habradárn, chun gréimich ná de varas bara ha cogus is sfear ha Habradárn na gimmert sa tarna le, ná corcaí go dísa. Nis mar sin, a sechan is litar sa chahabastach atra. Ní hastín wic de se hút cór leis a chur a réine, chaitistach aige, lor gáil me glachlin i mehe bhuig. Bwynta go yn syn aige, Ciarán Larrigan. Rasna na Poitke, Michael Heffernan. Seo Michael. Bwylta ymach yn syn aige, gyda John O'Neill. John O'Neill ile anna gir roi da agus yn cawnsan cwrymw agus fniad mwyntir lemini. Gary Kirby yn syn agus Richie Bennis agus fwydyn lemini dig un yr ffad cwrymw yn so aige Tabradárn. Blian anna háchtach dóibh siúd, na idiach 73 yn blian bjarnach a gwaig Richie. Craib na héirin. Agus siachwyn, yn immer til an awntir aigen sa, anna chongracht yn dde bliane. Habradárn na cosint. Mehe ymach, haris y dde bliane. Agus pogslasa do chorcaig. Padraig Gould. A hócaig yn cawnsa. Las mod an lína cúgvedar agus trífa hid bhfuil sé cawnsa Joe na Carnoige. Cad a dhéana sé, bhfuil tuige stacha Joe na Carnoige ach fachta go glóteistige go Kevin O'Gorman. Kevin Fevrú, Padraig Maher, a bhóla amach. Dhérig tachta gaud an synid. Noel Midra. Noel gyda Brendan Maher. Mehemach agus Noel am gyrraedd agad ahraig an Mwyr teblin agus a cartige. Carter fadige. Et Tabradárn na cawnsa. Noel Midra. Dyna go loichran na blian an ydig. Yn ffarafwar loich na hymara yn ai cil chwynig. Sio hen Noel. Drac iawn gyda Brendan Maher. Brendan am achlis. Brendan gyffwl. Bwylt amach ag Dennis O'Sullivan. Marsin. Sean Carey. A hócaig yn cawnsa. Seamus Hennessy, ach fiachar seo an tábháil úntach bhaimid deise seo dhiiscint geomid bhfuilteisteach agus anna tábháil ag an ógánach Darren McCarthy ach seo hé Seamus Hennessy beag tásnáil eile dhearn féidir há fiachar sin a gaiidí náde Darren McCarthy annach bháil agus anna iarach amach go dtí lár na Páitce Dennis O'Sullivan mehe bhuaig afach agus Haka hit a goud and Sunner, Stephen McDonald. Woltesteach. Schlutter Eredalov. An Maltoid van de Kansa, Hahabestach atra. Cúcín de faointí atra. Céileo hit scorele. Hecho cinúna geweg. Atestach agus a Derek Tarak Eriganson, Erdala. John Stack. Woltige Janak, as Wolterai gedi Luke O'Farrell. Iarach tsúd blocálta, Luke, parna deisige, ha bertín polaid agus a sé chramach haris a déblíine ag an mert. Mar sin, le Tabradárn an cawnsa, agus le Sean O'Brien, agus né Declan, dar nó Declan Ryan. Royal tóg ile éirin agus creibacha ile éirin ar sile le siúd. Agus creib na minú leisige, stolam. Bhfuilte amach go dtí Dennis O'Sullivan. Dennis O'Sullivan a stacha láslí ach seo hé Kevin O'Gorman. Eredalov. Amach an sa. Trasna na Páitce. Deisian sa go Robert White. Robert go dtí Padraig Gould. Stacha Joe na Carnoige. Fachta gan lán cholaí Padraig Maher. Padraig Maher. Amach go dtí lár na Páitce. Deisiile an sa ag Chris O'Donovan. Ach seo hé Noel McGrath. Bhfuilte Noel, bhfuilte go maithige. Ciarán Larrigan a Tarachar i Ganson, sáraithige Conor Hurley. Conor Fevrú, bhfuilte maithige go dtí lár na Páitce. Brendan Maher, trasna na Páitce. An son agus bhfuilte isteach a Joe taobh na láimh diise. Well, cúcín de faointí a há atra a gúnaí. Agus Darren McCarthy. Van de Kansa, a Wallamach. Bachtanson agus Seamus Hennessy. Seamus. Cork na chuinnig, Glenn O'Connor. Shohei Dennis O'Sullivan. Dennis. Aha, Wiggy Counson. Umwyd. Ruth Trasna, Michael O'Donovan, Michael O'Mahony. Michael O'Mahony, Stachat Joan Hole, will she own Michael O'Mahony? Ta, pointed us. Again, Michael O'Mahony. On 3 pointe, again, Michael O'Mahony. Agus an ish. Chéad pointe hátra. Agus Shneen Varna a Viatra, a Grave na Moon, Tobradorna Buigle, chéad pointe, either at co-score, good Igor Debrich, Old McCarthy, then Boyd, Lawson. Cahar Diego Viga Cork, no if we're Tobrador and the Kedi Fuinte, a Scaro Heliad. Well, to my Harrisha Devline Agus Puxlasse, Evegan, the Cork, Lorcan McLaughlin, a Hokey Cancer. Lorcan a Stachalash Leagus. Well, Ovidin me over Robert White. Fachtanson ag Sean O'Brien. Agus Imihenson o John O'Neill. Fachta ag Cillian Murphy. Tugumahige. Obradorn Derek Cossant. Dachtamach leis Schlitter James Barry. Wiltestach gadi Seamus Hennessy. Shohei Seamus, a Seamus Crean, a she Cumasach, agus ha pointele I'm she higa Seamus Hennessy. Marshin, an Varna meerde hige. No be Viaun an Bautison. Wiltemakadi, Lord na Poitke, Dennis O'Sullivan. Stachel Ashley. Sean Carey. Sean Amachter Roher. Sean Stakedi, Kieran Larrigan. Kieran Fevroux. Kieran Amakedi, Michael Heffernan. Rasna na Poitkin. Spiele Sheshole, Killian Murphy, Yannick, Kapaskinenach. A Bertie Pulanish, a Chef Fevrounish. Agus Dinnickerson, John O'Neill, a Fachta Hernashige, Killian. Wantamachige, Fevroux. Ach dianta go maithige agus Seachún Corcaig agus Dish ansa ige Luke O'Farrell, Luke Garastachanish, Luke Machlesh go fóil, Cad dhéanana glú buinte go cumasach an san. Cork Comáin glúte agus blanta machatsa ige Sean O'Brien. Shohei Michael Heffernan, a sé tapig, a sé bríomhar, an Meshe Crean, a sin anna faointan san ige Michael Heffernan. Come on, has a race to Captain Hobrador. And Lorna me at the Hegedy, Ochul, Michael Heffernan and son, a Gimmer Goodilino, Anna Hapik, Anna Homasach, Anna Hreen, Harisha Drasnon. Deshele and Sir, Dacha Joan Hul, Sarah Higgett, Darren McCarthy. Wiltemach, Giddy, Lorna Poitke, Noel McGrath. Dachsa Huine, Yogi Cancer, John O'Neill, Macha Joe and Tevlina and Sugady, Paddy Murphy, Edadalovatsa, Nachtastach, Brendan Maher, Shansiga Brendan, Wiltiga Brendan, Nagaso, Jarima Chamoin and Ordenson, Dark McCarthy, Agus and Siu Painton, again, Brendan Maher. In Darren Gahani Rachtan Pointish in a stopbach, Wake the Shohei Sean Carey, Ach Kaffer accounts of Wallamacharicht. Well, in a day, the Tachan Poitke, no Neil, Ach Ta Shaki Natra inish, Chesha Pointish, and on Creedy Hill, Darren McCarthy. Well, to Macharishtiga, Gasara Hensaga, John Coughlin. John Coughlin is Dacha Joe na Carnoige. Schlitter de Dollop, Seamus Hennessy, Mehewig, Bintero and son, I get Killian Murphy, Agus Calais Dented Killian, Nadok Shatig and Multoid, Agus Snéansanna Cillian Murphy teachtamach lethe agus calaístíanta Cillian agus ina daí techan páidce ansa tá Cian McCarthy takeach an páidce agus Joe Gallagher takeach an páidce Kevin O'Gorman imithe tá Cian McCarthy takeach a chorcaig agus Donna Steck imithe mar sin a harúg an dátheh. Cian McCarthy de chorcaig Donna Steck imithe agus Joe Gallagher takeach an páidce de Habradáran agus Lína teachtasteach go dtíon gluthe sínsir dar nó las bud an Gheatanson go bhfuiln si bh fiachantara an slua a crunúisteach ar a báid go gónaíon fáid go líon na lé de réidir chéile Cillian Murphy agus a Counson bhfuilteigech sáirithe mo hansa go nóil McGrath bhfuilte isteach ansa go dtí Michael Heffernan blocálta go deas a facha go Jack Hurling agus a teachta gaudir Stephen McDonnell ráile Corpic scór a háilin is an bhaisiade Lútaréitar fachta go Padraig Mahar anna chosantóirí Padraig bháile semach bhfuilteige agus sáirithe i go Darren McCarthy báidúir chorcaí bhfuilteige Darren go dtí cóngracht an daobh líne sáirithe agus fachta an saige Padraig Gould seo he Padraig las bud an líne cúg vedras dahad bhfuilteige deas strán a bhlocáil an son ach an tarna seans fachta go Michael O'Mahony bhfuilte i go dó taobh na láibid isise imithe mú agus scór a tastáil go gír 16 cur a mú an son i go Corpic scór a tastáil go gír ó Corpic 16 etra agus Focamach a bheith gán de Habradáran agus Anna Hans ige Brendan Maher Horn sciala éireann a bhuachtant ach cad a dhéanana Corpic Michael O'Mahony Cúl a tastáil bhuain is stoilmsa Michael O'Mahony anna iarachta Jonah Carnoige a ríist pachta go maithe go James Lowe Taca himach go ma go dtí Noel McGrath Harris Lár na páidce Michael Heffernan a bhla go dtí John O'Neill nó go dtí Joe Gallagher iarach súd blocálta Jack Hurling do Chorcaig bhfuilteige Jack agus seansansa i go Padraig Gould Padraig a garla isteach an bhaid sé scór anna ghála fachtaige bhfuilteige agus pointe má fachta do Chorcaig an chiad ceanna go Padraig Gould é sin na tastáilmhaig 8 bliana díag sétra hirirde agus well ní dólam go bhfuil Donald Cronin róhásta le sin a siad séfaointeach an déirig Ron Larrigan i mithe Harris Sean Carey achtaige Sean ver timpplaid léana bhróig chana talún ar córa go bhaith réad an moltóid chana cansa chahbaisteach atra Báchúil atra a láthar na huaire an táim is leanú leis bhfuilteisteach atra agus dis eile ansa i go John O'Neill bhfuilteige John bhfuilteige maithe an tarna pointeige John O'Neill do Habradáran agus 16 atra inis cumann na maithasa ná féil ar Brendan Maher go bé a dheoig graim ar chluis chudan scéala éideann an fear dearnach ó Boris Lee again an rud céanan ó Boris Lee hagan chuide Paddy Kenny 1997 ach Corcaig well be siad a déirigh nach an éthar loch Cillian Murphy bháileach agus calaístíantar Cillian Puxair Néan son an bháil san air agus a sé aus an dáhéamh sa chluthe inniu Cillian Murphy mar sin leis a gansa stecha Joe na Carnoige nár de Lowe seansansa ach a blocáil dianta ige Brendan Maher seans eile fósa agus blocáil eile ríist an son Brendan Maher agus Sean O'Brien an vertica is an slutar ar a dalab a gcónaí agus le Cork Council stolim. Buckschlasse de Cork. De hinnissen is het vader Gould. Woltige gedi Michael O'Mahony. Stachlische Schlitter Joe Carnoige. Ach fachte stigige Padraig Maher. Padraig Maher, Sean Carey, agus Cork na Chuinib, Stephen McDonald. Kieran Larrigan a tachta gaudir. Larrigan agus Cork na Chuinib siúd. Dara O'Brien. Ach sefé Sean Carey, disige Sean. Has gópige. Woltige Sean. Stacha John Chool agus Rhys Sarahega Mahega Darren McCarthy. Wilte Eraigige. Corkige Derek Dollid and Unsey, Glenn O'Connor, Kelmore Fadagadi and Debel on board. Nordelo. Ach, Savar the Boyle and son, the Hobradorn, the Lawn Hooley. Padraig Maher, Wilte Mahega Shoot, Gadi Sheamus Hennessy, Count Fada, Joe the Carnoige. Heyog Shellevide Gansa. Fachte Stigensonige, Paddy Murphy. Paddy Murphy, Wilte Stachagus. Chance go me over the son Michael Heffernan na for Shentar na cool Michael a goilestach and a Viabrach agus Viachar Sinnige Declan Ryan ach tá go Hinnige mar tá siad 7 pointe an cín láhar na huide Siachún Corkig agus Glenn O'Connor Glenn na Maclish Woltige Glenn Wolte Joe taib na lábig lé ní raibh sé ábharach agus Deschele and Sohagan if Yachanter Michael Heffernan a Maclish Stach agus Paddy Murphy on Counts and Higgis Dolm Gabe Paddy for it count as the pointy or Yenevin, Ganurum with Gabe Sheamus and a safe with it. In the Horpig, Lahar Nahuide, Darren O'Brien, the Tachtastach, agus Kieran, Larrigan, a Foggin, the Podkin. I mean, the Tanner, Lake Count Splicky and so agus Stolim Cheshalene, Gamic Tobradorn, agus Corkig, agus Kilchanig, the Hogonic, the Manuid, and Kohara Kochref, Revacha, El Air, and Gamic, Ochkin Diag, the Revacha, again a Lichon Taipka. Hashin, Dish, and so, again John O'Neill, a Pulte Joe, they have no lobby dish it, again John, agus Counts the Spade, Counts and Waltamaka Tapagadi, Glenn O'Connor, Wola Eraig. Modi de Khanishige Corkigidi, Luke O'Farrell. Fast on the Poitke. On pass Eraigidi, Ryan Clifford, Gidi Robert White, Yerach Blockalta, Anna Blockoil, Dinta and Baltason, Robert White. Again, Noel McGrath, Acha, Puckschlasse, Evegaun, de Corkig. Marchen Schnee, Anna Blockoil, Dinta and Baltason, again, Noel McGrath and son, Edirach Robert White. Ach Shachuin, Cian McCarthy, the Horkig, Wiltiga Cian, agus James Logue, a Mihiwig, a Will Neil. Pass, Cora Evaras, Gomahige. Michael Cahill, Horuk Gomaga, Vanna Tevline. Ach Corkig Edirach Tachtar Nash, Galia Corkig score Legal on Trinity Stephen McDonald. Wilta Joe the Carnoig agus oh vi chansen sunnig Robert White. Twig do Anna Chosentige Tobradorn. Schneanson, Jack Hurley. Trust on the Portke gedi Padraig Gould. Kelmore Fada o Padraig agus pointe the Corkig on Tarna pointige Padraig Gould. Agus an chance dernach an Counson the Builach Stach gedi Robert White, Robert the Gaidi in order Huigda agus Counson in Mihimura. Marcin. And again should take a Sean Carey and Vaisha Cole and the Havradarn. Ledavroy Cole against Sean Carey. William Marahan and Wiki. Agus Shin. Martha Havradarn. Skunskan Rovada Horkig. Satarnala. And Schlitter. Wilte Stach and son. Gudi. Sean Carey. Sean Amachta Stach. Laska Ledavroy. Stach and Lean Town. And Tarna Cole Darno against Sean Carey. Agus Té chance viga Cork, well, spada derlish. Well to get the Lord na Portke, Noel McGrath. Shohe Noel, Tí an Tarna Creville Aaron, a Wuchten de Haberdarden, Femmer Ha, Kuigeraka, and so, Mehema Harisha de Bline, Water on the Dig, Agus Sock. She had a Wuhek in Leon Alicious Dolem, Agus Unadi the Hortcake, Darren O'Connor attack and Portke, Agus Sussa Hurt and Noel McGrath. Fargawil, Ugamek, Ochrev, Manur, Ille Aaron, as a Kalige. Well to get it, Lorna Portke. Philip Hoychanisha, Yanavika Tabradaran, that's the Cork. Zanava hitting Cheshinamach, Acha, Schneemer Ha, and so. Water or a grave na moon, a Geswell, Tash Grissa, Yanavata Hennebuka, Jack Herlihy, Count Morard, Dacha Joe, the Carno, Gigas Cole, Stiggetson, the Luco Farrell, the Horkig, Acha, Sha, Luco Farrell, Legas, well. Turasheshin Aberdeen solo ashtoy vachas bjog defere yanashe margubel she the vader and Fenderik shne on that dienta gorobach and so ege Tabradarn the Corkig and so in overgus Brendan Maher Anna Vortashach Gerbehen and Giet Ar o Nidiga da had a shack the Hurig Cornskiel Eden good in the club Tabradarn and Captain Jernach, Gination, Paddy Kenny, Nidig, that had a shaft to Varas LA, Marhogan Sheded, Agus, the Corkig, and so Agus said the Anavi Hostel O'Hain, Garev Tabradarn, Vad Eden, Rovagoy, Gahoide, Satarnala. It's Biogabi after a secret lad idea of Coolavo in the Scarna Forne, Eglehaum. Ach, Padraig Maharatson, agus Biachar and Naglo to Hide Gruigenson, agus Sinan scored at Nahatsa, Tabradarn, Chi Cardiac, Corkig, Do Eheniac. Agus Leshin, she's good in Devlin, Marvel, Marty Morrissey, agus Declan Ryan.
Rav Milmagat Vihil, Declan Ryan, I'm sure you're obviously a very happy man. Coming into this game, Declan, having beaten Cork already, it must have been quite difficult for you, was it?
Yeah, well, we knew the Munster final would have no bearing on today's game, and the Tip Boys they're great characters, and they've worked very hard all year. We knew Cork were going to be very difficult coming up. It's hard enough to beat the Rebels once, but to have to face them again in the championship is it's tough enough.
And you didn't really start that well, did you?
No, it's a huge occasion for these young fellas. Some of them are only out of their 16th year, they're only 17. But they showed great character to come back after a poor start. We knew the Rebels would have some plan when they came up, but we were delighted with the way they knuckled down and they worked very hard.
We all know you, of course, from your playing days, but from a personal point of view, have you enjoyed being manager?
Well, it's we have a very good management team. They were a fantastic coach and Tommy Dunn, two excellent men, Liam Cahill and Michael Gleeson. They're fantastic men to work with. But the young lads themselves have to take all the credit because they've worked tremendously hard, and it's great to work with guys that listen and learn.
Well, congratulations, Declan, on a very good victory. Well done. Thank you for doing the interview. Back to you, Michael.
Well, Declan Ryan was a fine player in his own day, now manager of a fine Tipperary minor team, and we add our congratulations, of course, to Marty's. We take a short break. Analysis on this minor hurling final in just a moment.